Record.
Alright, give it up to Matt G. At least the one guy came with it, give it up, come on. Yeah, good claps. Good claps. Woman is an expert in claps. Alright. Anyway. Well, we got one last guy coming up. He's a little wacky, as his last name might suggest. Give it up for Steve Insane. Woo!
I didn't fucking expect to be here today. Like, everyone blew my shit up today. My daughter, she's like, she doesn't think she'll take anything of her life at 25. I'm still trying to figure out at 50 fucking 2. It's like every woman in my life just blew up my shit today. My girlfriend here, I'm trying to explain, we gotta break up. Oh, you can't hear me. Is that better? Again, this is God. Hello. Your first commandment. Okay, so I didn't expect to fucking be here today because, like, all my women in my life blew my shit up today. My daughter's 25, she doesn't think she's gonna make much of her life. I'm 52, I'm still trying to figure it out. You know, my girlfriend here, we're trying to, like, break up because I want to be with my son. He's gonna be 2 back in New York. What the hell am I doing here? You know what her answer was? Work that out with your wife. I'm like, I'm trying to. It's like, you know, divorce the 3rd time, maybe it works. I don't fucking know, you know? I'm a Jewish male. I've been invested so long in that marriage, I'm afraid to pull out too early. So, one said that someone got the wrong idea. Is there anyone out there? Okay, I get no respect. Maybe I should show it first, you know? That's what one woman said to me. So how did I actually end up here tonight? I wasn't going to come up to the Springs from Pueblo, originally being from New York. But a friend of mine called me up and said his girlfriend's in jail. So I didn't ask any questions. Apparently she was caught with contraband in the jail. After being arrested for someone else. It was just like, no questions asked. I charged him Uber prices. It's twice as much as Uber, but you don't have to tip. And I guilt you all the way there. Oy, I have to make a phone call when we get there. And like, you shouldn't have these people in your home. What would your parents say? The picture hanging on the wall is you're smoking crack and meth. Well, I mean, there are things I've seen in Pueblo I've never seen in New York. And I just sit there going, they ask me if I want to hit. I'm just like, no. I'm just looking at some 30-year-olds who are speedballing in front of me, like smoking heroin and then meth and then, what the fuck am I looking at? Oh wait, this isn't my house. I can leave. Thank God. It's fucking nuts. I mean, Pueblo's a beautiful place in certain parts of the town. You know, I've been all around. It's like New York. This is scary. No, everyone's just drugged out. So being from Pueblo, originally from New York, being called Steve Insane, you might wonder how I got that name. I didn't choose it. It was given. My dad was a social director or a master of ceremonies in the Catskill Mountains. You know the Catskill Mountains, New York, Dirty Dancing? No one gives a fuck. Anyway, so I'm 3 years old. My first performance in the Catskill Mountain was, I'm a little teapot, short and stout. Here is my handle, here is my spout. When I get all steamed up, hear me shout. Tip me over and pour me out. I made the adult version. I'm a little pothead, short and stout. Here is my bong, here is my stout. When I get all lit up, hear me shout. I'm hungry. So I have this movie script I'm writing. Another comic told me to take comedy, he's going to start taking comedy seriously. At first I said, like, you've got it all fucking wrong, but then I realized he was right, even though I'm left-handed. So I did some research. My daughter moved back to New York and she's doing, like, extra work. So, like, she said, Dad, how do I claim my taxes? So for less than $200 in Colorado, you can start an LLC. So I did. Being a Jewish male again, I did something correct in my life. It's Insane Productions. $20 a share, serious and comical inquiries, see me after the show. I'm not kidding. So I have the movie script. It's a history according to Steve. Because Cheech and Chong invented this fucking world. That's my theory. But, you know that story about Adam and Steve? Well, Steve was actually first. Right? Steve came first and became someone else. But then God made Adam, and then Eve. And one day, Steve goes to Eve, and he's like, hey, I found this, like, bush. And it's like, if you smoke it, you get really high and shit. So she, like, was turned on. They had sex for hours. And she tried to turn it on to Adam, and he was like a pussy about it. He's like, no, I don't want to try that. He's like, why don't you go fuck yourself like before I was here? And like, that's how the whole Shane thing came and Eve. And you'll have to read the script. It's 4 pages long. Anyone want to help me write it? Sometimes a comic is the only one that can bomb an entire place and only hurt himself. I am planning my funeral because your cemetery plot is the most important real estate you'll ever invest in. Think about that. That's scary. I almost got involved with an MLM. Anyone ever did in multi-level marketing? They can work. You want to get in another one? They can actually help our business. We can grow. If you find 3 people, they can find 3 people. And these people find 3 people, and even more, we could buy this place and make it a comedy club next week. And we can do it in a week. All right, he's not interested. But is there anybody out there? Is this karaoke? Because I think that would go over better on it too, like karaoke. I have some like comedy parody songs. Like You're Just Too Good to Be True. I had to write one, You're Just Too Dumb to Be True. Fat Bottom Girls, Flat Bottom Girls, and where else do we go from here? I get lost a lot. So my first wife's Puerto Rican. You know why I date Hispanics? And I stopped dating Hispanics or Latinas. Because everything that they panic about becomes your problem. I have a friend back in New York. His name is Marty Cohn. And we used to go out to the Latin clubs in New York. Does anyone know any Spanish? Not like Mexican Spanish, because Marty Cohn means something different. So anyway, it was like, we'd go out to these Spanish clubs, and Marty would always pick up these hot Latin women. He could go on 3 dates with them. Am I over time again? That's what the hooker said. Are we there? I'm done. I'm baked up here. Thank you very much. I'll be back next week. That's a threat. I mean, I didn't know there was a flute player after me. This thing on?
All right, you guys, that was Steve Insane. Usually you gotta pay like $100 an hour to have some neurotic Jewish guy talk your ear off, but you got it for free tonight.
We take promissory notes.
And insurance.